People think of France, they probably have a vision of grand chateaus, they probably think of Art Deco, they probably think of French chic and Louis XV furniture and things like that. But this bedroom, this was a clubhouse of fashion faux pas. They painted the walls lime green and pink. There was flock wallpaper on the ceiling. There was lino on the doors, and they wallpapered the skirting boards. I mean, who'd do that? So yeah, there's still plenty of work left to do on this room, and we've got to finish off the mortaring. We've got to clean up the beams on the ceiling. We've got to do the electrics. There's still lots of work to do. We've got to sand the floors and stuff like that. So there's still lots of work left for us to do.
That is nice and solid hard wood. This is just a test to see what the wood is and to see what it looks like. It is absolutely gorgeous. This is an old bottle of oil, teak oil, that we had a few years back. And we're just doing a patch just to see. And that looks absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That is beautiful. And if we did all the beams like this, obviously you're going to need the, I don't know what it would actually. That's come up really well.
Yeah.
And then it'll have lime mortar on the walls either side. But my heck, doesn't that look good?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful colour. I absolutely love that. Look at the pattern in it as well.
Yeah.
Bit of difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Obviously we've got to do all of it and the ceiling and stuff like that, but that is going to look an absolute treat. I am really happy with that.
That was covered under what, 6 or 7 layers of 1970s flock wallpaper.
Good old French wallpaper.
Yeah.
I'm just taking up the beams because we're going to be lime rendering the wall, and I don't want the lime all over the wood because I don't know how difficult it's going to be to get off. We've already cleaned them, and this way we can just strip the paper off afterwards. So fingers crossed. And it's a nice size paper actually. It's just the width of the beam. So we'll just cover the beams, like I say, do the lime render, and then we can just peel these off, and it should be perfect.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Wow.
That sounds too good to be true, really,
yeah.
Doesn't it? We'll wait and see. So all these nails along the beams have all lost their heads, and it looks like they're in a chestnut beam, and they're really difficult to get out. So some wisecrack has developed a new system with a pair of mole grips and a crowbar, and lever them out.
Just like that.
Just like that. Oh, there you go. Just like that. So we've got, I don't know, how many do you reckon?
Well, there's 20 nails per metre, and this room is what, 4 or 5 metres wide, so that means there's what, between 400 and 500 nails in this room to get out.
That's going to take a while.
And some of these nails aren't coming out very easy at all.
No.
So the first nail we did took, 3 minutes to get out.
Yeah.
So that means we're going to be taking out nails for an awful long time. Yeah. This little job that we had of just taking nails out is going to take... Well, the best part of a day, I reckon.
Well, it definitely needs doing, because I keep perforating my skull.
Yeah, I've got several holes in my head. Every time I go to bed, my head seems to leak on the pillow. So, yeah, it needs doing pretty soon.
Yeah. So that's one of the jobs. I'm going to brush the beam there above.
This beam's going to look cracking, because what we're going to do is we're going to fill in all these gaps with plasterboard, and we're going to put rock wool in between here and the ceiling.
Yeah, some insulation and some plasterboard, aren't we?
Yeah.
And then have the beam showing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to make it a nice natural
We're going to have
room.
about 3 inches of beam showing.
Yeah, because they're quite deep.
Yeah,
beams.
and in between here and the ceiling is all going to be thoroughly insulated and soundproof.
Yeah.
So, we're not losing all the heat directly up through the ceiling.
Yeah, it's going to be nice and cosy.
Yeah.
Cool, right, well that's 3 nails out. Only another 497 to go.
Go.
On your marks, get set.
Go. What wood do you reckon it is? Grain's not that tight, is it? Well, I don't know.
It's hard to tell at the moment, actually.
Yeah.
I said I used to use a lot of chestnut.
Yeah, the grain's slightly orangey, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a reddy colour.
Yeah.
And it's got to be hardwood, hasn't it, if it's going to be a mantle. Is that what they call them?
Lintel.
Lintel. Mantle.
Similar.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot bit better than the bit of hardboard that was there.
God, yeah.
What were they thinking of?
Well, they weren't, were they?
No.
Why would you cover a nice piece of wood up with hardboard?
Yeah.
Don't know.
There we go.
Right, it's going to take a lot of cleaning.
Literally everything in this house is painted a hideous gloss pink. It's like some tribute to a 1960s Barbie movie, and it's taken everything we got to get it off. We've tried paint stripper, we tried several sanders, and we just can't get it off. It's absolutely horrendous. The dust is going everywhere, and it's probably lead, so yeah, we're all having to mask up. It's horrendous. Last year, without a shadow of a doubt, was an absolutely fantastic year. But there was room for improvements, particularly when it came to things like the water. We had to shower outside in water from the well. And when the water from the well is freezing in the bucket around your feet, that isn't good. And the other thing was the electrics. Now, we had one working power socket in the downstairs, and there were no electricity sockets at all upstairs. And that was basically because when the house was wired and when we moved in, there was only one power socket upstairs, and only 3 out of the 4 bedrooms had lights. So yeah, amazing, eh? The house was probably wired in the 1940s, and the last person living in it is probably about 1992, 93, we think. So yeah, so what I've done is I've sunk the power sockets into the wall, and all the trunking's all been set into the wall. So yeah, that's going to be the first time, because before all the trunking was it's just, no, it wasn't even in trunking, it was just cables nailed to the wall. So yeah, that's going to be amazing for the house. So yeah, doing all of that. So yeah, just cut this. Yeah, so doing all that, we're going to get heaters put in. That's going to be a first for the house, because before they had an open fire in the bedroom. Can you imagine that? All the smoke, and there was holes in the chimney breast and things like that. So yeah, smoke while you're trying to sleep. Oh, unbelievable. So yeah, we're going to get heaters put in and things like that. So yeah, it's big improvements. So yeah, better crack on. We just worked out that this is the first plug socket this house has ever had, in, well, 150 years. So yeah, working plug socket.
Yay.
This house only ever had one upstairs plug socket, and that was in the bedroom next door. So in 150 years, it's got its first upstairs working plug socket.
Yay!
Amazing, eh?
Cool. Right, I need to plug something in now. I don't know what, but I want to plug something in.
Plug something in. I was mortaring my cables in round the bottom, but when Mandy's using her hands to mortar, her splatter range is about 10 metres, so I've stopped. You have to wear a hard hat, you have to wear a face mask and goggles, so it's a bit like when you put rocks in a cement mixer at the end of the day. My digestion system is going to be so clean, it's going to be absolutely amazing, so... yeah, I've stopped for now. So,
I would say sorry, but I'm really not.
No, you're not, are you? No. Yeah, so I'm going to shift to a different part of the room.
And they said, "Let there be light." Ah, yes, we have light in the bedroom. Applause. Well done. The little things. That's brilliant. Well done, you. Wow. So we need some LED bulbs for that one, and then we're ready to go.
In France, your windows open inwards, and when we moved in, there was this lovely piece of pink plasterboard as a windowsill. So we ripped that straight out, like so. Now, underneath that was a huge ant's nest, so we had to dig all of that out, and we found that the wall was collapsing, so that wasn't good. So we rebuilt the wall and we've lime mortared it all up. So we then went out to the garden and we found two large bits of I think they're granite, and we've lime mortared those all in, and I think it looks a lot more traditional and, well, far more in keeping with the room, really. So yeah, I think we've done quite a good job, really.
Right, so as you can see, some of the walls in this room are brick, and what we've decided to do, because of the lovely wood beams, we're going to do a lime render on the brick. And we were looking at different colours that you can add to the lime render. So we've done a little experiment. As you can see here, we've left one neutral or natural. We've added some ochre to one and some rouge to another. The red has come out quite pink looking, and I'm not quite happy with that. And we're siding with the ochre because it's a nice warm colour, especially for this room with the sun coming through the windows. There's a couple of tubs of colour that we've got here. There are quite a few others. You can get blacks, greens, blues, yellows. But these are just two we've got. So we're going to try the ochre. We're going to do a wall with that on it because we quite like that colour. And we'll take it from there and we'll see. Yeah, we've not lime rendered just brick before, so that's going to be an interesting one. The rest of the bedroom, as you can see, is the stone with the lime mortaring. This bit here we did round the window yesterday, so it's still, as you can see, it's a different colour because it's still a bit damp. Yeah, so we're going to go for a natural look. Let's give it a whirl. There you go. Right, so that is the colour weighed out. Done a bit of maths here. 35 kilo sack, how much is in a bucket of lime, split all that up. Anyhow, this is how much colour you need per bucket of lime, we think.
We think.
But this is what we're using, and then this is then a standard weight, standard measure, so that every mix we do, it's going to look exactly the same.
We hope.
We'd like to think. Right, let's go and add this then. Right, so here goes the measure. Definitely looking a orangey, more orangey, warmer colour, isn't it, than the white of the lime. We're either going to love it or we're going to hate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Until we've done it, we won't know.
And you won't know until the wall's dried, like 2-3 days later.
Yeah.
Then it's too late.
Well, you can always chip it all off again.
Well, I don't think that wall will take us chipping it off, it'll just fall down.
Just colour it, paint over
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Do a lime wash over it if needs be.
I think it needs more water.
Just needs a bit of a scrape off the bottom as well. It just soaks in, doesn't it?
Yeah, they just soak up the water. It'll dry out in a second.
Yeah.
Lucky it's not as warm as it was the other day.
Oh god, yeah. Like putting bottom and door on a house.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd have to be doing this.
No. Good floor.
Yeah. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Once upon a time, there were two idiots who bought a lovely house in France. Anyhow, that's beside the side. The walls are now done. We've still got the ceiling to do. We've still got to put the plug sockets in. The floor needs sanding and varnishing or oiling. But we're having this as a little bit of a victory. This is how things can look and how things will look, and it's just to give us that little bit of a boost, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's brilliant. We've done really well.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have.
Yeah.
We like it. We've got to take the paper off the beams that need oiling.
Yeah.
So there's still plenty to do. However, I'm in love with this room. I love the walls. Even the colour on the line rendering is just lovely.
Still changing colour each day.
It's getting lighter and lighter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I think we've done really well.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing when we've finished it. But like I say, we're just taking 2 minutes out. Just looking what it can be like.
Yeah. A little bit more traditional than it was. As you say, the chestnut floor still needs a good old sanding, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, all the plug sockets need to go in.
Yeah, that's only about a 10-minute job.
Yeah. Maybe the ceiling will be the big one.
Yeah. Still got a plasterboard.
Insulated plasterboard.
That's all got to be insulated and plasterboarded.
Yeah.
So yeah, got to peel the paper off of those beams and teak oil those beams. So yeah, plenty to do still, haven't we?
Yeah, but it's good.
So as usual, folks, give us a bit of the old like and subscribe.
He likes that.
I like a bit of that. And See you in a couple of weeks. That's if the internet don't break again.
Oh yeah. Au revoir.
Au revoir.